In this episode, let's sit down and have a chat about a couple things I'm really excited about. So, stick around. Hello, fellow dorks and dorkettes, and welcome to It Came From My Side of the Laundry Room. My name's Rob, and in this episode, we will be sitting down and having a toy side chat. Now, while filming this, I took a little beat right there after I said that because that would be where an intro would get dropped in. Now, this segment doesn't have one, and yeah, that's something that will be remedied very soon because I enjoy this sit down that we have every once in a while just to get my thoughts out there and to be completely transparent with all of you about the comings and goings with this channel and my life. But there will be some changes coming to this show. It's a show that I like and I want to continue, but I have a few ideas to how to spice it up. So yeah, I'm just throwing that in. That's not even on my notes for what we'll be talking about. Just had to throw that out there. Anyway, back to my notes. Wow, it's the end of June already. And to be honest, this is the second time I am attempting to do this. The first time I did it was at the beginning of the month, when I usually want to drop these episodes. And I talked about the month of May. And that last week of May, a lot of things were happening in the dork world that I wanted to talk about. I filmed the entire episode, and I began editing it, and I was just putting in a lot of work on it, and the runtime was getting really crazy long that it kind of defeated the purpose of this nice, simple, chit-chatty type of show. So I deleted it, and I wanted to redo it every week since, but I ran out of time. Luckily for me, this is actually a Sunday night when I don't do filming, and I have tomorrow off. So I'm taking this opportunity to do this episode again and hopefully make it a little bit shorter. Now, the thing that made the runtime on that episode so long was some of the changes I wanted to do to this show I was going to put into motion in that episode. And didn't really know where I was heading with it, so some of the little contained bits of that episode were way too big. And yeah, it was a good learning experience to do that episode and then know what I don't want to do. But another thing that made that episode very time-consuming as well was when it was filmed at the end of May, there was a lot of great, entertainment out there. Well, 2 things. I'm now watching 4 things, and I'll just do quick little blurbs on them to not bog down the system and make this a crazy long episode. First, which I talked about in that previous episode, was Stranger Things. The first part of this season was awesome. I love all the new characters, I love the direction it's going, and the storyline was really good. So I can't wait for part 2 to launch just in a couple weeks, and yeah, super excited about that. The second thing was Obi-Wan. Now, I know a lot of people are resistant to the themes that this show wants to carry, but it's really good, and I'm enjoying every bit of it. I mean, the emotional bits of it, I enjoy. The few little fight scenes that we've seen, I love. The, power stunts that we're seeing from the Force, top notch. I mean, some really great stuff. And Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor are doing a fantastic job. And I dig the villains. People, we're not supposed to like them. So people that are defending themselves with the crappy things they're saying with just, I don't like the character. We're not supposed to. They're villains. And that's okay. But week to week, things are growing. So just because in one episode you don't like it or are not spoon-fed everything, you can't condemn the whole thing. Now, the third thing I started watching more recently was The Boys. I love this show. It's a horrible thing that it only has like 8 episodes. It needs to be a lot more because I could be immersed in the gory glee that this show has, the crazy powers that we see, the hedonistic hero and villain world that it is immersed in. I could view that every week for dozens of episodes. But again, you get carried away with the craziness of it, but at its core, it has a really strong heart, and we're starting to see that with the later episodes. So again, loved it. The fourth thing I started watching was Miss Marvel. Now, I have no idea about the comic character. I checked out of comics long before she came along. But I can only talk about the show, and I like it. I mean, I like the coming of age of an awkward teen. I mean, that speaks volumes and, makes you identify with that character. And it's really cool. Again, I can't speak on how different it is than the comics, but I've enjoyed it so far and I recommend it. It was really good. Anyway, like I said, I'm filming this on a Sunday. It's actually Father's Day, and it's a whole week or so, maybe less, maybe more, I don't know, before this actually airs. So I hope nothing big happens between now and then, because once this is done, I'm moving on for the month, and you will catch me in G.I. Joe July with the follow-up episode and potentially the new direction that I want for this little chat session. Now, speaking about G.I. Joe July, I'm not really going to talk about a lot of my plans for it, because I plan on doing a kickoff special, if you will, at the beginning of the month, where I'll kind of discuss the plans that I have and what you can plan on seeing for the month. But I really need to talk about the Cobra Convergence this year. First off, from what I'm seeing from the community and all the people that are involved, it's going to be another stellar year of it. And yeah, the trailer has hit the airwaves, and if you haven't seen it, here it is.
G.I. Joe fans, get ready to converge. This year is the 40th anniversary of G.I. Joe, and the G.I. Joe fan community is ready to celebrate. HCC 788 presents, in special association with Surveillance Port and Serpentor's Lair, Cobra Convergence 6, coming in July 2022. For the entire month of July, your favorite G.I. Joe fan creators will be bringing you new Cobra-related content. We have creators presenting every day in July. Sergeant Slaughter's Slaughterhouse, The Full Force, Joe Motion Videos 82, Cobra Island, Half the Battle, Peg Warmers, Plastic Battles. We will celebrate our love for G.I. Joe by dedicating the whole month of July to G.I. Joe's enemy, Cobra. Get ready to turn the whole world blue. Cobra Blue. Snuva's Corner Cafe, What's on Joe Mind, Toy Connections, JLS Comics, Special Mission Force, Forgotten Figures, Joe on Joe Podcast, Talking Joe Podcast, The Human Mechanism Mark II, Audible Interlude. The calendar of presenters can be found at hcc788.com. Check the calendar and don't miss a single entry of this year's Convergence. My Side of the Laundry Room, Jay Bartlett, Mate Mylar, The Artist Shark, Action Robot Punch, Anything Joe's, They Gone, A Toy Kinda Mood, Codename New 2 Vero 2, G.I. Joeberg, Star Joes. You can get involved in Cobra Convergence. You are invited to create your own Cobra content and participate in a weekly promotion. Check hcc788.com for details. Cobra Lang, McDowan, Joe Colton, Podcast from the Pit, Fun School Ronnie, Order of Battle Podcast, The Skull Reviews, Articulated Points, Hooded Cobra Commander 788. Join us in July for Cobra Convergence 6. It's time to come together for fun, for community, and for Cobra!
You can call me a mark, and I don't care, because seeing that just gets me pumped up for the event, for this huge collaboration between all these great creators, and I just get a kick out of seeing my name up in lights, if you will. Okay, full transparency. I had a awesome idea, at least in my mind, for an episode for this year's Cobra Convergence. I was going to be doing something completely different than what I usually do, and I was really excited for the challenge. It was something I always think about doing, but I was finally going to be taking the plunge and doing it. Well, I started filming it, and again, it was a different style than I'm used to, doing something that's completely different for me, and literally the whole thing crumbled in my hands. Now, it's definitely something I would love to try again in the future, but I feel like I can't take a chance, and I really need to do something for the Cobra Convergence that's kind of special. Now, I've put so much thought and effort into one idea. I put all my eggs into that basket, and now I'm kind of left scrambling for something special. Now, I'm a person that likes to plan out everything. I usually plan out my whole month of shooting ahead of time. So, not knowing what I'm going to do yet for the Convergence is really stressing me out. But again, I'm hoping to do something special. It might be more akin to what I do, but it will be special. Hopefully. I also want to throw out there that the Cobra Convergence is open to all sorts of different creators if they want to talk about Cobra sometime during the month of July. Now, I am throwing up the video of Hooded Cobra Commander giving you all the details of this, so here you go.
Hello everybody, Hooded Cobra Commander 788 here. Are you ready for Cobra Convergence 6? We will have a full calendar of presenters in July, but even if you are not on the calendar, you can still join in. Do you have a YouTube channel, an Instagram account, a podcast, or some other creative outlet related to G.I. Joe? I invite you to join Cobra Convergence. All you have to do is create some Cobra-related content in July 2022. Every week, I will do a promotional video with clips and images from those creations to spread the word about your work. Email a link for your content to cobraconvergence@gmail.com by Friday at 5 o'clock p.m. U.S. Central Time each week, and put CC6 in the subject line. I will take all the contributions for that week and create a promo video that will be published on my channel every Monday in July. Any contributions that don't make the 5 o'clock deadline will go to the next week. The deadline for the final video will be July 29th at 5 p.m. The final promo video will go up on July 30th. If you go to hcc788.com, there will be a list of these instructions and some additional information, and there are some logos that you can download to use in your videos and images. If you don't have an online presence to add Cobra content, you can still participate. You can turn your logos and avatars and backgrounds Cobra blue for the month of July. Let's turn the whole world blue for Cobra Convergence 6. Cobra!
Again, this looks to be another spectacular year of Cobra Convergence. I believe this is my fourth year of participating, and I love it every year. So come with me during the month of July to look at some of the best Cobra-related content in the world. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is today is Father's Day. Well, yesterday, technically, because it's after midnight. But Yesterday was Father's Day, and my family spoiled me, and I can't believe it. I mean, here's one of the things that I got that I'm super excited for. A Ewok Chia Pet. Now, taking a look at it, I have not opened the box yet, but I feel like I'm not going to do the Chia part of it, just the pet part, and display this awesome terracotta Ewok. I mean, yeah, having some shrubbery growing on them is pretty cool, but just the fact of having an Ewok statue, that's pretty darn awesome. So I got that. I got this back here, if you can see, in the olive drab. It is a battle mat for playing Dungeons and Dragons, which I'll get to in a moment. So I'm excited to use that in the very near future. Also, the other thing that I got, and I'm super, super excited for it, is my very first Disney Spirit jersey. And it's one that fits me to a T. Now, I don't have it with me, and I'm too lazy to go upstairs and get it, so I'm just going to throw a couple pictures from an online source, possibly the Disney store. But here's a couple pictures. Now, to have, the vintage figures on it is awesome. To have that awesome Star Wars logo highlighted by a neon pink starburst, that's awesome. But on the sleeve, it says vintage action figures. Dude, how awesome is that? I mean, I know this is a Disney thing, but imagine how cool this would be for other properties like G.I. Joe or Transformers, Mask, what have you. Yeah, there's a lot of money on the table that you're leaving if you don't follow through with other awesome toy lines. It doesn't need to be Disney. Disney doesn't need to be involved, but you could kind of repurpose their idea. So, very cool. Let me add real quick that I am not condoning any copyright infringement. I definitely am not condoning the big bad mouse knocking on my door. So, do with it as you wish, but keep me out of it. The last thing I want to talk about this evening is this battle map, in a way of speaking. About a month ago, I finally got all of the 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons books, all the core ones, and the Multiverse Monster Manual. And yeah, it's a lot to take in. I've played the 1st edition, 2nd edition, 3rd edition, which a lot. I played that the most out of any edition and different offshoots from it. And that's mostly where my knowledge is. Never got to play 4th edition, so reading 5th edition, it's like an alien language at this point. Now, I've crafted, I hope, to be a very good first adventure for my kids, because that's who I'm running it for, my kids. They're super excited about it, and hopefully tomorrow, since I have off work, I'll sit down with them, we'll look at the player's manual, and we'll make some characters. I think they both want to play Dragonborns, and I'm cool with that. That's a interesting little plot hook that I could use at a later date. But the overall story that I have a loose thought of, I got dozens of pages of notes, just nothing concrete yet, is, I don't want to say modernized, but it's kind of based on some of the entertainment that they watch and some of the interests they have. So hopefully that'll be something that excites them and helps them be immersed into it. So I'm super excited about that. And this first adventure that I have cooked up, yeah, it's a doozy because I'm having to put extra work into it. One thing, to learn the rules as I go, which is easier for me to retain. But also, within this adventure, I want to touch base on a little bit of everything. Different skill feats, different types of monsters, different types of thought processes, different traps, and different characters, and different types of interactions. I want to touch base on this in the first episode, or adventure, more so than any of the others, because I think it would be a great learning experience for them and for me, and to get their mind working on how they see their character, how to use the character, and yeah, I'm probably putting a lot more work into it than I have any other game ever. And of course, I could have done the easy thing and used, pre-written campaigns and adventures, but no. I jumped back into that, a younger version of myself from, 10, 15 years ago, when I spent all this time to create worlds. Yes, I fell back into that, and I'm having a blast creating the world, but when you have so many things on your plate like I do, that's just one more crazy thing to jump into, albeit very fun. But yeah, it's been pretty consuming, and if I had as much free time as I wish, I'd be filming episodes left and right, running games left and right, and also doing all the daddy duties that I do, running my kids here and there, and just having fun with them and playing with them and the dog and the cats and being with my wife, and just the only thing I wish I could leave out of everything is work. But I'm not alone. I mean, work is work, but I'm definitely not somebody that lives to work. I mean, work helps me live. And yeah, that's all I'll say on that. Anyway, super excited to jump into a new D&D game. And I wanted to do a review of the books, but I wanted to get that first game under my belt before I discussed it. So I'm thinking I'm going to like it. Of course, it's different. I read almost every day how old school and hardcore players don't like it as much, but with me taking a break and jumping into it, and how my thought process has changed over the years and how I perceive a kid to look at it, I think it's pretty good. But I will do a review of the 5th edition in the future after our first adventure. So if you're into that kind of thing, it's something for you to look forward to. Anyway, this probably ran a lot longer than I wanted. Probably still shorter than that first episode that I said that I did, but probably still long. So if you're still here, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. So if you did, give me a thumbs up. If you got something to say, please leave a comment. I love reading them, and I love getting back to everybody. And if you're new around here and you enjoyed this, or any of the episodes of mine that YouTube is recommending down here, please hit subscribe. And if you hit that little bell icon, you will be notified whenever there's a new episode. So anyway, until next time, thanks for watching. Keep being rad and stay dorky!